Imagine moving through life unshaken, where no insult, no setback, no challenge can disturb your inner peace. The Stoics mastered this way of living, cultivating a mindset that made them unbreakable. Today, we'll explore 10 powerful Stoic lessons that will help you develop a resilient mind and let nothing affect you. Stay with us till the end, because these insights can change the way you experience life forever. Life is unpredictable, filled with challenges, disappointments, and unexpected hardships. Most people allow these external events to dictate their emotions, reacting impulsively to every difficulty. But what if you could rise above it all? What if you could maintain absolute inner peace, no matter what happens around you? This is what the Stoics achieved through discipline, wisdom. The Roman Emperor Marcus Aurelius, one of the greatest Stoic philosophers, wrote in his meditations, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." This means that true strength doesn't come from controlling the external world, but from mastering your own mind. I end this video. We will break down 10 essential Stoic lessons that will teach you how to develop a mindset of steel. These lessons will help you detach from negativity, remain calm under pressure, and become the master of your own emotions. Let's begin. Lesson 1. Control what you can. Ignore what you can't. One of the fundamental Stoic principles is understanding the difference between what is within your control and what is not. Epictetus, a former slave turned philosopher, taught that suffering often arises when we try to control things beyond our influence. When facing a difficult situation, ask yourself, is this within my control? If the answer is no, let it go. Redirect your energy toward improving your reaction rather than changing the event itself. A person stuck in traffic can either stress out or use that time for something productive, like listening to an audiobook or practicing mindfulness. The situation is the same, but their response changes everything. Make a list of things you worry about daily. Then, divide them into 2 categories: things you can control and things you cannot. Train yourself to focus only on the first category. Lesson 2. Master your emotions. The Stoics believed that emotions are not inherently bad, but our reactions to them determine our suffering. Seneca advised, "We suffer more in imagination than in reality." Often, our fears and anxieties exist only in our minds. Whenever you feel overwhelmed by an emotion, pause and question its source. Is the situation truly as bad as it seems, or are you magnifying it in your mind? A public speaker who feels nervous before addressing an audience can reframe their fear as excitement. Instead of saying, "I'm terrified," they can say, "I'm eager to share my knowledge." At the end of each day, write down an emotional reaction you had. Analyze whether it was justified or exaggerated, and think about how you could have responded better. Lesson 3. Accept everything as it is. The Stoics practiced amor fati, the love of fate. Instead of resisting life's difficulties, they embraced them as opportunities for growth. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "A blazing fire makes flame and brightness out of everything that is thrown into it." Next time you face a setback, instead of asking, "Why me?" ask, "What can I learn from this?" Shift your mindset from resistance to acceptance. An athlete who suffers an injury can either fall into despair or use the time for mental training, strategy, improvement, and recovery. Whenever something goes wrong, write down 3 positive things that could come from it. Lesson 4. Practicing negative visualization. Most people live in a state of hopeful optimism, expecting that things will always go their way. A true Stoic, however, prepares for life's inevitable hardships. Negative visualization, deliberately imagining worst-case scenarios, is not about pessimism. It's about mental fortification. By contemplating potential losses, setbacks, and hardships, you not only strengthen your mind, but also cultivate gratitude for what you currently have. The Stoic philosopher Seneca once said, "A man who has anticipated his misfortunes suffers them only once, but one who has not suffers them twice, both in reality and in apprehension." This means that when you mentally prepare for adversity, you reduce its psychological impact. A sudden misfortune becomes less overwhelming when you've already envisioned it. Practice negative visualization. Spend a few minutes each day imagining a challenge you might face: losing your job, a relationship ending, or facing a financial crisis. Then, reflect on how you would respond as a Stoic. Instead of fearing the possibility, use it as a mental exercise to strengthen resilience. This practice ensures that when adversity does strike, you remain composed and in control. Lesson 5. Building emotional detachment. A key Stoic principle is learning to detach your emotions from external events. People often let circumstances dictate their mood, reacting emotionally to things beyond their control. However, a Stoic understands that emotions should be observed and controlled, not blindly followed. Epictetus taught that it's not events that disturb us, but our interpretation of those events. This means that no external situation inherently holds power over your emotions. It's your perception that gives it meaning. Develop emotional detachment. Pause before reacting. When faced with a stressful situation, stop and analyze it objectively. Question your emotions. Ask yourself, is my reaction rational? Will this matter in a year? Shift perspective. View hardships as opportunities for growth rather than personal attacks. By practicing these steps daily, you gain mastery over your emotions, ensuring that you remain unshaken regardless of external turmoil. Lesson 6. Using daily reflection to strengthen the mind. A Stoic does not let a day pass without self-examination. Reflection is the key to improvement, allowing you to assess your actions, thoughts, and decisions. Marcus Aurelius, in Meditations, constantly reflected on his own character, writing at the end of each day, ask yourself, what have I done wrong? What have I done right? What could I do better? To integrate Stoic reflection into your routine morning reflection, set intentions for the day. What virtues will you practice? What challenges might arise? Evening reflection. Review your actions. Were they guided by wisdom and virtue? If not, what will you change tomorrow? By making reflection a habit, you sharpen your mind, strengthen your character, and ensure steady growth. Lesson 7. Mastering discipline and consistency. Success is not the result of motivation, but of discipline. The Stoics believed that true strength comes from mastering oneself through consistent effort, not fleeting inspiration. Seneca emphasized that luck is what happens when preparation meets opportunity. In other words, those who are disciplined and consistent create their own fortune. Set strict routines, follow a structured daily schedule, commit to small, repetitive efforts. Progress comes from sustained action over time. Ignore distractions. Train yourself to stay focused on long-term goals rather than short-term pleasures. Discipline is what separates those who merely wish for success from those who achieve it. Lesson 8. Embracing discomfort for growth. Comfort is the enemy of progress. Growth comes from stepping outside of what is familiar and embracing challenges. The Stoics practiced voluntary discomfort fasting, sleeping on hard surfaces and exposing themselves to the cold to train their minds and bodies to endure hardship. Push beyond your limits daily, whether it's in physical training, work, or personal growth. Discomfort is a signal that you are evolving. Seek challenges instead of avoiding them. View obstacles as tests of character, not as burdens. Why making discomfort a regular part of your life, you develop resilience and an unshakable mindset. Lesson 9. Overcoming fear through logic and reason. Fear is often irrational, created by our minds rather than by reality. The Stoic approach to fear is to dissect it logically and remove its power. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "If you are distressed by anything, it is not the thing itself that troubles you, but your judgment about it." Break fear into facts. Ask yourself, what is the worst that could happen? How likely is it? Take action despite fear. Courage is not the absence of fear, but acting in spite of it. By training your mind to view fear rationally, you eliminate unnecessary worry and regain control over your life. The path to inner strength is not about avoiding difficulties, but about facing them with a Stoic mindset. By applying these 10 lessons, you will cultivate resilience, emotional mastery, and unshakable inner peace. Remember, the world will always test you, but your reaction is entirely up to you. If this message resonated with you, like, share, and subscribe for more Stoic insights. Let's continue this journey towards true mental freedom together.